You have Mark Levin, who's a conservative. You have Glenn Beck, who's a libertarian. And yet, they're not on radio arguing about things like same-sex marriage. They're not on radio arguing about things like the legalization of marijuana, the legalization of prostitution. They're arguing and agreeing, I shouldn't say arguing, they're discussing and agreeing on the bigger picture. And I want to bring this up tonight because I've seen so many conservatives on Facebook and, in the media too, but mostly on Facebook lately, attacking libertarians, going out of their way to attack libertarians for their stance on, say, same-sex marriage, for their stance on legalization of marijuana. And I'm thinking to myself, we have a government right now that is completely out of control, that is governing completely outside the confines of the Constitution. And we have conservatives on our own side who would rather attack people like Glenn Beck because they might agree with same-sex marriage rather than, join forces and fight this big bloated government. It amazes me. It amazes me. These people, let me make something very clear, folks. These people who are constantly going after libertarians instead of this government and this administration and this president, I don't think really have a good understanding of how much trouble we're really in. I don't think they do. We are in big trouble. Very, very big trouble. We're treading on thin ice. We have a government that is expanding every single day. Their power is getting more and more centralized. We, the people, are losing more and more power every single day. Obama and his administration are going around Congress. Obama constantly talks like some kind of a dictator. This is bad. No one is representing us. There's a huge disconnect between the government and the people right now. That is a big, real problem. Liberty is on the line. That is a big, real problem. And so when I see these people on Facebook going after libertarians for their views on same-sex marriage, minor things like their views on the legalization of marijuana, the legalization of prostitution, I'm thinking to myself, why are you going after these people for these minor disagreements when we have a much bigger problem on our hands? A much bigger problem. It amazes me. Mark Levin and Glenn Beck probably do disagree on some minor things. That's why Mark Levin calls himself a conservative and Glenn Beck calls himself a libertarian. They do have some differences. But they didn't talk about those in that interview because they knew they're not important right now. What is important is joining forces and taking down this government. Taking down this government. We need all the help we can get. We need as much help as possible. The enemy is not the libertarians. The enemy is this government.
Factor Talk Radio.